Hey y'all, welcome back to Moments with Miss Amy. I am so glad you joined me. As you can tell, I am certainly in a different location. I am actually at my brother and sister-in-law's beautiful home up in Ohio. I came up for a specific reason. My dad, 80 years old, fell and broke his leg in 3 places, managed to drag himself inside to the phone and call my brother for help, ended up having surgery last night. He is doing amazing, which is so good. Such a stubborn and strong man, and I'm so proud of him. And he's doing great. So while I'm here, I thought, I'm going to take advantage of this beautiful, crisp fall weather and get to wear some of my sweaters and things I don't get to wear very often in Florida and pop on here and share my video. And so honestly, what I'm going to share about today is something that actually happened because of needing to come up here. When I was looking for flights and trying to figure it out, I also had to look over my schedule and see what all I had going on. Besides, of course, the Uber and Lyft, which, it's just such a benefit. I just don't turn on the app. If I need to leave, I just go. But I still needed to look at my calendar, my schedule, and see what else there was. And what was amazing is I came across this Saturday, actually, is going to mark a 5-year goal that Ken and I set. Now, my husband and I, February, will be 33 years married. I know, wow, right? Some of you certainly aren't even 33 years old, I'm sure, that are watching this, and yet we've been married that long. But we set a goal 5 years ago, and it was actually in my phone. I love that about being able to take technology like the phone, I have an iPhone, and put right in there a 5-year goal and actually go in down below where the date is and have it pop up on your calendar so that you literally 5 years from when you set that goal, it pops up as a reminder, and it gives you that chance to look back over and think about it. Because I'm going to tell you, Ken and I both completely forgot about this goal. Now, in the beginning, it was something we were working towards, and so our subconscious mind went this direction, but over time, you kind of forget about things, or at least we do with all the different crazy things that have gone on in our life. We'd not thought about it. But what was amazing is when I saw this and I read it over and I spoke to Ken about it, we both had to agree that even though neither one of us had been intentionally keeping it in front of ourselves, it was something because we had planned it, we had started it, we had written it down, we had given it a date, that it was something that we began working on, and literally, obviously, we kept working on it. So it was really cool. And that date was, like I said, a 5-year goal set with Ken on November 6, 2016 of making our relationship more perfect through intentionally meeting each other's needs. Now, more perfect. I can remember when I read this, when I saw this and I thought about it, I went back to that time back in 2016. Let me tell you, things weren't cherry, okay? They were not amazing. Ken and I were struggling. There was a lot that was happening in our life, but we were aware of speaking positive. We were aware of the importance of not pointing out the negative. And so our wording was intentional, that we would make our relationship more perfect, not better, not good, it was more perfect. Now, of course, perfection is something we always strive towards and we're never going to achieve, but we can get more perfect. And that's exactly what we decided to do. And through intentionally meeting each other's needs, kind of covered a whole plethora of things, because it meant that we would stop to think when we would go to do something, and how is this going to affect the other person? And so we look at things now and look back to where we were and realize we literally have been doing that. We pay attention. We think about each other's love languages. One of the things that I did was I actually read the book Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. And it was a book that was recommended to me by a really close friend, as well as another person, a mentor of mine that was really dear to me. Both of them really promoted that I read this book. I had been going through just some challenging times and how I was feeling as a wife, and wondering how I could get better at it. Didn't feel that I was fulfilling my role as I should. And both my friend and my mentor really recommended this book. Again, it's Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. And the quote that Dr. Emerson has that's even on the front of the cover is actually about the love she most desires and the respect he desperately needs. And that was one of the things that we talked about and that we worked through, is the realization that I require a lot more love. I need love. I want to feel loved. And my husband actually feels love by being respected. So when I would step in and make a choice for him, and just like tell someone, well, yes, this is what he wants, or this is what he'll do, he felt kind of disrespected. Or if I, said or did things that I didn't bring to the table first for the two of us to work on, it made him feel disrespected, which in turn made him feel not loved. But then he would in turn have a hard time showing me love because he was disrespected. So it was something that we worked together on and realized how important that it is that we pay attention to that. Not just that, but also, like I said, the love languages. 5 Love Languages, Dr. Gary Chapman, an incredible read. If you haven't done it, seriously, you need to. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. But of course, you guys know me, I got to throw a scripture into this conversation, right? So the scripture that I've got today written down, of course, is Ephesians 5:33, and it is, however, each of you must also love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Check that out. Love and respect. Wasn't that just what the book was that I just said? And now here it is in scripture. Maybe there's something with that. And I certainly believe that there is. And I don't think that it's just in husband and wife relationships. I don't think it's just marriages. And so if you're not married, or if you're not married yet, or, whatever, you are still exposed to other people. And the thing is, I think if you begin to realize that us as individuals, if we learn how to show respect and show love to each other as friends or even coworkers, being respectful to each other and just caring about other humans, these carbon-based life forms that we are, require so much more poured into us than just food and water, okay? And it's so important that we make sure that we reach out and that we give people love, respect, honor. And I like the fact that in the Bible, the scripture was, love his wife as he loves himself. And so I think that's important. And I think it's good for us to remember. And again, like I said, I spoke with you previously, and we talk about this, is how important it is to pay attention to ourselves, to take care of ourselves, and to love ourselves, to make sure that we take out times to determine what our needs are and make sure that they're being fed and that they're being met, and that we are able to pour positive energy into ourselves, because then it's just going to overflow. That light is just going to shine out to others. So I don't know what you guys think about it, but for me, the fact that I pull up my calendar and I see that written there, that we were working on this goal, and I can tell you that we really have done it. Like, I do see a difference, and now I'm excited to when I get back home with him, to be able to sit down and say, okay, look it, we did this, we set this, and we got there so much better than we were. So now, how much further can we go today from where we are another 5 years from now? Where can things be at? And what can we do intentionally to make sure that we're there? So I'm super excited to set my next goal. The other thing is with that is the realization that, remember, I've talked about the importance of setting goals. I talked about the importance of writing them down, giving them a date. And so I'm just wanting to share this with you that, y'all, see, this works. It really does. And so it's so important that we actually take action. That when we learn about something, that we don't just go, oh yeah, that's great. Oh, that sounds really good. It's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. We need to actually take action and implement it. So what I'd love for you to do is shoot me a comment down there, or send me an email and let me know, what are the goals you're going to run for? What are you going to put a date on and put in your calendar, so when that time comes, it pops up and you're like, I did that. I took those little steps. I just made them a part of my life, because that's what we did. We took those things and we integrated it into our life, which then in time gave us those results. And so I'd like to know what you're doing and what you're going to have changing in your life, so that when it pops up in your calendar, you're able to look back and go, I did do that. I was intentional and it did happen, and my life has changed. So click like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that little bell so you hear when the next video drops. And I want to thank you again for joining me for Moments with Miss Amy.